Peggy 16.
Map number 7. This is for all the marbles, for the glory at the XDefiant Showmatch. Uber and Shift, take it away, because in just a few moments, we will learn who our champion is.
Thank you very much, Katie. Yeah, for those that love a good story at home, we couldn't have asked for anything more than this. Team Pacman, Team Aches going all the way. A best of 7 now comes to its conclusion. It's going to be Occupy on Liberty.
Oh, this map is so cool too. Just the looming Lady Liberty in the distance. A chance to fight for all the guts and glory of one of our first ever looks at XDefiant. And it already starts off with a couple of quick kills coming through from Aches, even popping through at the Biovita. How about an opening triple from Aches? You think he wants to win, Uber? How about just putting your team on your back real quick?
Talk about a head of steam being built up for Team Aches here. What a way to start things off. Again, you can actually play this map from pretty long range, but there are some angles on this first zone that you cannot see if you play too close to your spawn. So you really have to move up a little bit here. And I think that's why Aches just charges straight down the side there. A very nice lead early on here. Again, like 22, 26 points already going over towards Team Aches. Aches himself still delivering there. Nice trades by Zoomer, eventually going to go down. Pacman's able to find just the one, but Crimsix now peers in onto the point. It's going to come out on top. A lot of blue in the kill feed here as Crimsix now locks it down.
Unreal to the pistol, trying to finish things off, but once more, you look at the Libertad faction, just so much healing, such a nuisance to deal with, and a chance to neutralize the time being earned on the Occupy zone. More cool looks as far as how the movement can be utilized across these maps. Little tight corridors here and there that you can slide underneath as the kills for Crimsix light up the kill feed onto the way to the second hill.
Oh, he's starting to fire up now. Doing this with a burst action weapon, by the way. Not the easiest thing. He's going to pull out the pistol and go for it. Crimsix is running absolutely wild, and he lays down the red carpet for Slack to move on in. Another zone under control of Team Aches.
Interesting here, Slack in the first Occupy was still using the Biovita. He is swapped to the El Remedio, so once more, it's a deployable that you throw out, and it's a healing gas and an aura. I think it's absolutely brilliant to use when you're in position around these Occupy zones to set up significant holds, and we're seeing that come through. It just comes down to, will we see it actually pay off if they find themselves on the break attempts, because that's where it's difficult to find value out.
What a play by Team Aches. You have to imagine they're talking it up in the comms. Let's take a listen.
Yo, wait for me, Pat. I'm going deep right.
All right, I'm here.
All right, I'm here, there. I'm nading it.
Label dead, label dead. One on the boat. He doesn't know you're there.
Camel on me. Another one come. Mid.
Come on, push you.
One time. Nice, Tommy.
Mid's good. They're on one side.
Yeah, low.
A chance for Pacman here to use that positional advantage to get somewhere, but Zoomer's going to shut them down again.
Wow. It's just, you can kind of feel it. It's never being one-sided hits. There's always multiple angles of ingress that are being threatened time and time again in these break attempts. That said, though, Team Aches not still spawning in, so re-establishment of control around the zone for Team Pacman. Aegis popped very early on, though, with this convincing lead, and Team Aches is looking to really throw this one out of rack really quickly.
Using classes that get stronger with teammates are close by is so huge here, right? Having teammates that can fire out from the Aegis, having teammates that can basically make Libertad, get exponentially more effective by playing close around that area of effect healing. These things are so important. How the hell does he get censored there? That is ridiculous. Slack now has that ultra available, but may not even have to use it. The pure gun skill on this man. He is breaking ankles.
This is different form here from Slack. He's absolutely looking undeniable in this title very early on, I know, but that is impressive with an M16. 31 to 100 through 3 zones of Occupy so far. This is looking like a snowball. Sonar goggles are out. That is against Team Pacman. It's just the snowball effect. It just keeps tumbling, bumbling, and stumbling through.
Yeah, Enable needs to find his way in here. He's going to use that Medico Suprema again. We've seen Enable use this ultra early in quite a few occasions there. It's not enough to get him out of dodge. Pacman, though, comes in with a Purifier, and I tell you what, he is delivering now, finding those 2 key kills, putting his team back in a position to challenge.
Oh, and I love the fact that he's just spamming down a doorway. It's going to last for about 10 seconds if you just hold down the trigger. And that is valuable time here for Team Pacman. It may have actually dissuaded Aches' squad from even trying to re-break this. 8 seconds of scrap time looks good. Fully conceded by Team Aches. But now the question is, can you find a way to rotate and break on this next execution towards our new zone?
There's no doubt about it, right? Team Aches are absolutely using that extra 10 seconds or so to get in position for that next zone, and already they're going to be here. JCap has the Aegis, but no one really close enough for him to get value out of it. I mean, I can't say that. Aches just walks on in and goes, all right, here's a freebie. Eventually, Jacob and Co are able to flip the point back in their favor. Again, yeah, very interesting moment there from JCap, but able to find another kill to follow it up and getting value out of that Ultra.
It's just a great read, right? I mean, he's the first one on rotation. He gets a kill to kind of win a 1v1, and then the Aegis is just to put essentially a block into the pathway for teammates to work their way back through. So just like that, 119 to 78. Break attempt eventually good for Team Aegis, but that's significant early time for Team Pacman to get right back into this game.
Man, Crimsix with an AR is just disgusting.
Yeah.
Another three-piece for him now as he tries to push off the zone a little bit more, but Team Aegis again able to extend that lead. Pacman pretty low on health here, but able to recover now, going to push straight in towards Zuma. And again, the duo here from Team Pacman able to get their team back and counting. That zone now has just shifted across another 55 seconds for that one here. And who's on site? The Team Aegis are first.
Yeah, just not quite able to get the incendiary drone into a prime position, though. That all said, a chance for Team Aegis to still stay alive onto the zone itself. Pacman squad still working on kind of getting this break over the hurdle, and it looks like finally they're able to get someone onto the zone for now, but they're not in possession of the favorable spawns. Pacman trying to change that. Little play around the back, has a couple lined up, and they have just blown the play wide open single-handedly.
Well, we're back to the more central zone now, right? So Pacman could definitely benefit from wrapping around there and trying to find a nice little flank. Zuma looking on jealously, would have loved to have pulled something off like that himself. He's going to fall down, though, as Enable's able to play that high ground pretty nicely here. Again, still need to get onto the zone because Team Aegis are still finding ways to increase that lead.
Great call, popping the Biovita right as the last contestant comes through. Long range shots, yeah, there's a couple of kills back and forth, but largely speaking, that is a successful break of the scrap time for Team Pacman. 147, 108. Team Pacman have taken scrap into initial for the next zone, so this is a great moment for them to get not just back into the game, but possibly find their first lead.
Yeah, let's see what they can do with this positioning here because they're getting mowed down. Zuma's able to find two, and Aegis is going to be there with Slack chiming in. That's going to be all of Team Pacman just obliterated here. Team Aegis coming alive once more, man, maybe looking to try and close this out.
And just that quick route, right? Just sliding underneath the doorway, hit from the opposite angle, completely take Team Pacman by surprise. Pacman tried to do almost the exact same thing. Try to break on through. SMG in hand, not a lot of teammates with him. He's gonna have to kind of do this by himself, but the incendiary rounds, they absolutely melt ya. 20 seconds left. It looks like Team Pacman are going to be fine to take the majority of this time.
He's got what he needs as well. He has the drone that he can lay down and cover the doorway. He has, of course, the grenade he can throw out here. So decent chance here for Team Pacman. Sensor now as well trying to work them down. Zuma runs straight into him here. Looks like he has eyes for that next point. And Sensor might be the first player up here. And he almost was, but Aegis was waiting for the backstab, getting 2 kills. Team Aegis might have a chance now, to get on first.
Yeah, a little bit of trigger discipline, I think. I mean, that's Aegis in the digital ghillie suit, just kind of waiting for players to come through. It's going to force out the Purifier for Pacman on the break. He's got players from the side. No one was watching this side door whatsoever, and that'll be enough to turn tides once again on the zone.
Grenade, okay, Pacman able to step ahead of it there, but no, Aegis is going to catch him. Pac is still good for 3 though. Aegis now going to pop that Ultra and make sure he can handle this gunfight in the 1 versus 1. 200 HP and a dream. Aegis has got it all right now. Slack's going to be able to find 3 and Crimsix chimes in. This is where things start to get dangerous for Team Pacman. It's been a long series and they started at such a lead, but it's starting to slip through their fingers.
Yeah, if they can get past the 200-point threshold here and a 70-point cushion, you start to feel good about your chances of just kind of cruising your way into a victory. Have to see something from Team Pacman as we get to the next zone. Even Enable feels like he's got to hit this scrap time, so he's not going to be with his team as they start to rotate across, but he actually finds himself behind a couple of Team Aegis members looking to kind of stretch the same angle.
Yeah, that ends up actually working pretty well for Enable there. He's able to find the 1. But again, it's Team Aegis that actually winning out a lot of these fights here. And you can see now, we come back off the spawn. Sensor going to play from inside of this Aegis here, and he catches Aegis just as he tries to get away. This could be a big moment here now.
Oh.
Double Aegis action. Slack not even able to find 2 kills, make it 3. Slack really doing the work here. That is going to be devastating. I don't know how you come back from that.
Slack just holds his breath in the corner, say, don't look at me, don't look at me, don't look at me. And is able to find not just the shutdown of the Aegis, but also on the remaining Team Pacman players. 233 to 136. It started tight, but it's looking like the finish line is within sight. Can't quite finish here, you would think, but they'll be really darn close, especially if no one can touch to contest this. And no, they may not even be able to contest this in time, Mitch.
I mean, Pacman was the only player that was close enough to the point that really had a chance to look in here. This could be tough. Pacman able to take Slack down now. He needs to make his way forward, sets the drone up, and is going to remove Aegis from the equation. That's 2 kills now. Next zone is already up, though, and Aegis is here already, making use of that jump time. And who can contest this? It's going to be Aegis, captain and champion and winner of our show match. That's right. It's going to be 7 maps going all the way, and in the end, Team Aegis are victorious.
Congratulations to Team Aches, the captain himself, the one stepping onto the final point to secure victory here and hand over his team the win at the XDefiant Showmatch. And honestly, I gotta go back to it, Shift, because I cannot stress how fun it has been to watch players, the majority of them, 6 of these 8, who have hardly touched this game, watch that evolution in experience and understanding of XDefiant from Game 1 all the way through Game 7 and give us an amazing series of maps.
The authenticity, it really is genuine. I think you've seen it from start to finish for the players, for the 3 of us. You've even heard it in the interviews with the devs themselves. And to see the growth of how these already very talented players are able to kind of utilize the uniqueness of this title and really kind of test the limits. Yeah, it was a really fun treat and a very convincing final scoreboard here for Team Aches.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, is that Team Pacman or Optic Gaming on the other side? Because Aches looks super nasty, and my God, really though, fires up in that last map. And again, there's a lot of the usual suspects here that make a big difference. We were talking off air about that Slacked and Crimsix combo as well. 2 guys that just really started to take the fundamentals and run away with it after the first couple of maps. Yeah, a slow start, man, but it's really about how you finish, especially in like a long series like this. It is like, again, like these guys are used to playing under these conditions, but for some of them it's been a while. You know, some have been on the watch party train, on the stream train. I mean, my boy Sensor, of course, been out there grinding every day. I'll see you out there. But again, really impressive to see map to map, and it actually helped us as well because we started with like bare bones fundamentals talking about XDefiant, and we're able to actually build upon those basic concepts and see them act out to these more advanced combinations as the games went along. So it was like an educational, a viewing experience, and getting our first taste of this game that's really going to change the game, I think, as far as shooters are concerned. That was super rewarding to watch.
And look, I got to do some of those insider sessions alongside you guys, and I'm pretty sure I spent most of the time dead, but I had a lot of fun in the process. And again, I think watching that skill cap that we've seen today, incredibly impressive. And speaking of, I know we have some highlights from the entirety of the series, so Uber, let's take a look.
Yeah, I mean, look, midway, this is where we really got to see like how important it is to use these ultras on defense, right? This is the play that Aches makes, like the last bullet kill there. This allows his team to move up their sort of line of scrimmage very close to the attacker's spawn and bleeds the clock down. And I mean, this same sort of, approach for defenders, we saw it executed here as well on Meltdown.
Yeah, it's just great awareness as you would expect from Aches, obviously sitting around the game for quite a while. But yeah, I think you hit a really strong point on the head here where it's not just you have the option of we just have to shoot better. There are things that you can do as a squad with these abilities to get back into the game or to take your advantages one step further and really punish your opponents. And Aches showcased that, I think, in a multitude of ways from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the map where we saw that like rush towards the end when they had 4 players on the package. They had an Aegis, very, very hard to break them down. And then, of course, we sort of went to Liberty and we saw just how effective Team Aches were at like reading the breaks and knowing what that next point was going to come up there. They looked absolutely dominant. Aches has pulled some strings here because I've not seen anybody else's mud but his.
Might be dev privilege, I don't know.
Yeah.
To be fair though, this last map, he definitely would be my MVP for this one. He looked really good over the course of the series. I mean, it shows the guy's put a year of his life into trying to make this game incredible. I think he's done a great job alongside the crew at Ubisoft. Really excited to see where they go from this. And yeah, to the winner goes the spoils. I guess bragging rights would seem to be worth a lot more in this FPS community than others. So I'm sure he's more than happy to have those. Again, the villain of FPS rises once more.
The villain, and look, you gotta give it to, I think, shout outs to Slacked and Crim as well, and Team Aches as we look at these final results, right? It started out a little slow for them. Team Pacman looking so strong on the Dom and the Escort to start, but then they pick up, and especially it felt like in that Occupy and Zone Control that got Team Aches to even things up, Shift, Crim and Slack just came alive for the team.
Familiar ground, right? I mean, a lot of experience playing in modes that look a lot like that, and I think you start to all of a sudden say, okay, light bulb, everything starts to click now all of a sudden for us. Let's get back into stride. Because yeah, those first 2, it was almost like they barely even spawned up. Just gotta say it. So the fact that they're able to get their feet back underneath them and really kind of ride the momentum throughout the rest of the more traditional game modes that they're used to, yeah, I think they absolutely played spectacularly.
I think one thing that really stuck out to me was how deep this game is because you add that gunplay element with the positional element, with again your deployables and your activatables. There is a ton there. It's a lot to try and take in at once, but you can see these players here starting to understand how to make use of the timing that these abilities require, not something that you sort of have to worry about in other games here. So I love that added layer of complexity that gives us some of these really cool combos.
Look, we have had so much fun today at the XDefiant Showcase, but the players did as well. So let's go and see what the players had to say about today.
Yeah, so the guys really rallied back after going down 2-0. I think we kind of really got together and got hype with our wins, even our small wins. We had a few sick comebacks, and even though on that game, I think it was game 6 or game 5, when they had an awesome comeback in domination, we didn't let it get to us. We moved on to the next map, composed, and we were able to close it out.
We were just having more fun, and they started taking it a little more serious. I was trying to try different things to showcase different factions, and they just started coming back. I mean, they're all really good players, so it's not a shock. And I think overall, it was a really good series. So I'm not too upset, honestly, because that could have gone either way.
Listen, man, we've been here, we've done that. I've been a professional gamer for a long, long time. There's nothing but composure from the boys. We were down 0-2, we just had some fun with it, came back and won.
Honestly, it's really tough to lose in a game 7, especially when you don't play well in the game 7, so I'll just take the L on it, but it's kind of hard to put it into words. You know, this is my first time in my life losing to Pat, and I've almost went 30 years of living without losing to the guy, so it was one of my lifelong goals, to be honest, to make it to 30 and never lose to one of the greatest, but here we are, holding an L, and there's nothing I can do than blame myself, so I'm just disappointed, honestly.
I mean, what? We won, you know, we lost 1 map and won 4 straight, so pretty good feeling. Even better feeling when the game's fun. You know, even better when you're having fun doing that.
I think we just got too confident once we went up 2-0. Pat also started cheesing a little bit, and if you don't know what that is, he wasn't playing fair. He was playing fair, but he wasn't. He's got a lot more experience than the rest of the guys here, so I don't think we actually lost, but he turned up, they turned up, and I don't know, nothing went right for us after that.
Look, guys like to come up with every excuses in the book when they lose, so it's not anything I'm not used to, but we set the rules here, we all played by the rules, and at the end of the day, the best team won.
XDefiant was genuinely a lot of fun. I didn't really know what to expect coming out here because I didn't get to play the online play tests that we had, but genuinely so much fun. Felt a lot like some of my previous favorite FPS, a good mix of them. So I'm looking forward to the release. I don't even know what it is, but I'm so looking forward to it. I can't wait to play at home.
First time playing XDefiant, and I loved it. We had a lot of fun here. Everybody was gassing it up. The movement felt really good. I like how the game, you have to rely on your movement a lot. It's very important to make sure you're moving well around a map, right? The maps are really beautiful, a lot of color. So I enjoyed it, and it's always fun playing with your friends. So I had a good time.
Man, that was some great gameplay. You know, we know that these are some of the best shooters in the FPS genre, but watching them play XDefiant is absolutely amazingly fun. We had a great time, the players had a great time. We really saw them develop and really learn the skills and learn the game. But I have to tell you, for us back at the studio and working on this game, seeing the players play, seeing how excited they got, getting kills, winning matches. I mean, it's the reward that we all as developers aim for. It's gonna be great to see the future of this game.